Welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. We are going to be reviewing Barcelona's 2-0 victory tonight over Malaga without, of course, Lionel Messi. It was down to Dembele, it was down to Coutinho and Suarez to lead the line tonight, get us over the line, get the 3 points before now, of course, our focus turns to Chelsea. But in the league, it was important to follow up that victory against Atletico with the 3 points tonight at a difficult stadium. Even though Malaga were bottom coming into this game, we knew we had to apply ourselves, and that's exactly what we did right from the first half. It was a really good performance in that first half with some very good performances individually as well, and we're going to be going through all that and more in this review. So we'll start, as always, guys, with Ernesto Valverde's lineup. He elected to go with a 4-3-3 formation. That's what we all wanted prior to the game, and I think that's what we all want, to be honest, going forward, simply because you get kind of displays like we saw tonight in that first half. It's really electric going forward, and the most important thing is you give those 3 players up front, you know, the ability to go there, have some freedom and really express themselves. And when you've got players like Coutinho, when you've got Dembele, when you've got Suarez, such creative players, such fantastic players on the ball, off the ball, running at the defence, that's what you want to have. You want them to have that freedom to express their ability, and that's what we saw in that first half, courtesy of this 4-3-3 formation. We had Paulinho, Rakitic and Busquets in midfield. I was surprised to see Gerard Piqué start the game, to be honest. I think this is a game that we certainly maybe should have rested him in, and there was also a real bad challenge on Alba, and I was surprised also that he stayed on so long. But other than that, a very good team from Valverde, a good formation specifically, and of course we were all very, very excited to see what Ousmane Dembele could produce in this game. And to be honest, in that first half, he did not disappoint. For me, he was absolutely brilliant. Every time he got on the ball, he looked to do something positive, and that's what you want to see from a player like him. Somebody who can take on the responsibility, be confident on the ball, and try and do something. Yes, there was a number of times where he lost the ball, where it didn't quite happen, where a pass didn't quite connect, but that will happen. When you take risks, you're not always going to succeed. But in the majority of the game, he did very, very well, and I was really impressed with what he gave in today's game. And hopefully, I really do hope that's enough going into that Chelsea game to earn himself a starting berth. But we'll go from the beginning of the game. I think we started the game well. We had full control of the ball. Malaga sitting back, not really any confidence about them, and then when they hardly troubled us going forward. There were a few lapses that we had at the back, but they're really, really poor in front of goal. They were never really going to take advantage of those. That's why I was so surprised, really. We didn't give somebody maybe like Mina, even Vermaelen, a chance tonight at the centre of defence instead of Piqué, but we didn't do that. We were strong, we started strong, and we got the result that we needed. But the goal came first of all from Suarez. That was the first goal, and it was an absolutely stunning ball from the left-hand side from Jordi Alba. Absolutely brilliant cross it was to Suarez, who was breaking his neck to get into the box. He was making the run in there. He was more determined. He wanted to get on the end of the ball more than the Malaga defenders did. He gets on the end of it. He gets onto the cross, which doesn't have much backlift. And what he does really well here, he controls all the pace, because look, Alba has just lifted that ball into the box. Suarez has used that pace on the ball, and he's just directed it back across the goalkeeper. Doesn't even move. Can't dive for it. 1-0 Barcelona, and a really, really important goal to get us off the mark. Without Lionel Messi, of course, we didn't want any pressure added to us in that respect. Messi, of course, not available for today's game due to personal reasons. His wife Antonella actually gave birth today to their 3rd child, Ciro. So he's a boy, the 3rd boy. They're trying for a girl. Didn't happen this time. Messi building his own 5-a-side team, but really, obviously, best of luck to Messi, and hopefully he can be back and concentrated for that Chelsea game. But obviously, fantastic news with him and his wife today having their 3rd child. But to be honest, we did really well today without Lionel Messi, because I know a lot of us coming into this game worrying a little bit maybe how, you know, dependent are we on Messi? Do we always look for him, of course, to create, to score goals? But today, with the front 3 of Coutinho, Dembele and Suarez, I thought they did really well. Obviously, against Malaga, they are bottom of the league. They're not really a side who's in good form. They don't have good players. They're not really the best sort of measure of where you're at as a team. But against the team that we were up against today, what was in front of us to go there and get the win, we did very well, and I think we have to give credit for that. The second chance of the game, the really big chance on 20 minutes, Samuel Umtiti steps out of defence. Really good today that Samuel Umtiti was doing that. He was picking the ball up. He was making strides. At times he was almost coming in to a midfield position. He plays the ball into Suarez. Suarez puts it round the corner. Paulinho has a great chance to make it 2-0, but he just misses the target at the near post. And they often say, don't they, don't miss at the near post. Either go across the goal and miss that way. And Suarez as well, I think, was a bit disappointed there that Paulinho didn't square it back to him, but that was a good chance there for 2-0. On 28 minutes though, came an absolutely brilliant brilliant goal. A lot of people are saying it's 300 million euros worth of talent combining for this goal, but boy was it worth it. It was a really, really nice goal. Dembele and Philippe Coutinho combining, such a good combination, so great to see those two combining on the field. Dembele it was down the right hand side, and I have to say here, he's really, really wise, and this is when you can see Dembele's creative ability. He's not always been a goal scorer, he's not going to score you 20, 30 goals a season, but what he will do for you is consistently create chances. He's got a great understanding with his teammates, and he really does have a wise head on relatively young shoulders. He's down the right, he cuts back inside, and what he does really well here, he just waits, he gets his head up, he has a look at what's around him, he has a look at the action to see where the runs are coming from, and he just waits a split second for Coutinho to get across his man. He sees that run, he picks him out, and Coutinho, you have to say, he improvises absolutely brilliantly. It's a little back heel flick, and it's that good really. The goalkeeper doesn't see it coming until it's past him. He doesn't realise what's happening. He dives to his right, but he can't get there. A really brilliant piece of skill from Coutinho, his second La Liga goal for Barcelona, and that was 2-0, the final goal of the game, but a really, really impressive performance in that first half. I think Dembele showed great confidence. He was finding space. There was a few tricks that were thrown in there. He was looking a lot more confident in the way that he dealt with on the ball. He didn't look like he was sort of worrying about what he was going to do. He was thinking about things too much. He looked much more confident in today's performance, and he was constantly running at that back four. He was constantly giving them problems. There was a few passes, that went in behind, looking for Suarez. And I said on Twitter, I think once those two, Suarez and Dembele, have had some time on the pitch together, consistent minutes, I think their combination is going to be telepathic. I think they've got a really good understanding, even already. Dembele always on the lookout for Suarez. Suarez makes some really intelligent runs, and I think the two of those together can be really, really bright indeed. And that's why for me, Dembele has to start against Chelsea. Obviously after this game, I'm going to be coming onto more things, looking ahead of that Chelsea game. But for me today, you saw the advantage of Dembele, that raw pace, that raw talent, the ability to create, the ability to stay wide. He has to play against Chelsea. He can threaten their defence so much. Malaga was shown a red card on 30 minutes. A really horrible challenge this was on Jordi Alba. It was Samuel Garcia with a straight red card. He couldn't argue with it. Jordi Alba was very, very lucky here that he wasn't seriously injured. He went down, he stayed down. I was very, very worried. I was thinking, please don't be out of the Chelsea game. And like I say, I was surprised that he was left on the field for so long after this, but it was a really bad challenge. It was high, he was out of control, it came down really hard on his ankle, and like I say, so glad there that Jordi Alba got away with that when he was subbed off about, the last 10 minutes of the game for Lucas Digne, so hopefully no damage there. But in terms of the first half, it was domination, it was chances galore. Malaga's keeper, to be honest, is absolutely brilliant, so those two goals could have been a lot more worse if the Malaga keeper didn't produce some absolutely fantastic saves. But in terms of the second half, I think then you're sort of seeing a team who's thinking about Chelsea. There wasn't really a lot of intensity, there wasn't really the ability, there was the ability out there wasn't really the intent though to go and get more goals. There wasn't really a relentless feeling about this game, and to be honest, that's understandable. A lot of the guys out there will be playing against Chelsea, a lot of them will be, and a lot of them be hoping to play at least, and I think that was basically the case in the second half. We went down a few gears. Malaga with 10 men were never going to cause the problems. Even with 11 men, there's a chance, they wouldn't have scored the worst attack in La Liga. They've only scored 13 goals in the entire season so far, and it was just a case of seeing the game out. Valverde made a few changes. He brought on Gomez for Sergio Roberto with 15 minutes to go. That was a bit of a strange one, bringing on Andre Gomez in a right back position. That was a very strange change for me. I think I would have brought on Vidal and put him at right back. That was more of a like for like change, but Valverde electing with Gomez and putting him at a very unfamiliar right back position. Then Alba went off for Lucas Digne, and then 5 minutes before the end, Ousmane Dembele was then substituted for Alex Vidal. And one final moment in that game, which does have some significance, Suarez was booked. There was a bit of a kick out, there was a bit of a coming together between himself and the Malaga defender, and that now means with that yellow card, he will not play against Athletic Club next weekend in our next La Liga game. He'll be suspended for that game, a one-match suspension after his 5th yellow card today. So overall, it was brilliant in the first half, seeing those three combine, Dembele, Coutinho, Suarez, all of them different kind of threats, all of them giving us something different. I think Rakitic in midfield again was good. Paulinho was making forward runs. This is the kind of game maybe that Paulinho is more suited to. There's not too much pressure. You don't always need brilliant midfield quality in these kind of games against lower league opposition. And in terms of our defensive play, at times, we had a few lapses, but like I say, against Malaga today, we could afford to do that. And I think a lot of the time today, the players were in second or third gear, thinking ahead to that Chelsea game, which of course now is a massive, massive priority. All our attention, all of our efforts are turning to that Chelsea game at the Camp Nou on Wednesday. Get ready for it, guys. Lots coming up on the channel, lots of things to look look forward to. We are gunning for Chelsea. Messi will be back. Messi will be ready to dedicate any goal to his newly born child, and we will be waiting for that performance, and hopefully Dembele will get that start as well. So leave me all your thoughts down below, guys. What did you think of Ousmane Dembele today? What do you think Coutinho? Real shame, of course, that Coutinho can't play against Chelsea on Wednesday. It'd be great to have him available. One bit of news on that, though, just briefly. Andres Iniesta, apparently, according to Rat 1, he is already training with the ball. He did that today, apparently, in training. He was working with the ball, and he is still striving. Somehow, he's going to, really go with a miracle here. He might be back for that Chelsea game, even though originally he was going to be out for many weeks after the game. Incredible from Iniesta. There is nothing that man can't do. We're going to have to monitor that and see if he is going to be available in the coming days. So I'll see you then, guys. Leave me your thoughts on the game down below. I will see you soon. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça.